It was a Lucknow Super Giants team mentor who said prior to the tournament that he would fancy Chennai Super Kings not once, not twice, but thrice in the tournament. So let's see how it all pans out when LSG take on CSK in match 7. We'll bring it all for you in this match preview with me, Avnish Hegde. Don't go anywhere. I might be donning the yellow of CSK, but we have an Aussie on board, so the colour is the same. Dirk Nannes, a warm welcome to cricket.com once again.
Good to be with you again.
Yeah, it's going to be a great cracking affair. Comes from the Brabourne Stadium this time around. Now look, let's get straight into it because both batting units struggled, both the teams lost, but now with Chennai having Moeen Ali returning, man and man, who do you think has a better batting lineup, Dirk?
I probably prefer CSK's purely because of an experience point of view. I think both teams were on the wrong side of the coin toss in the last game. I think in both games we saw the ball nipping and swinging around. It made it incredibly difficult for the top order. So I've got some sympathy for them. But with Moeen Ali back in that team and knowing his form in the last IPL and how dominant he could be, I just prefer CSK, but for me, I think the coin toss is massive at the moment. It's no surprise that all but one game, the team chasing won the game.
Yeah, I mean, the probable 11 that we're suggesting on the screens is one change, the solitary one. Moeen Ali in and Santner goes out. Do you see it the same way?
I think so. I think it's a pretty logical step, and to think how deep they can bat now. Going on the previous batting lineup, I don't think we'll see the same batting lineup as the previous game, but that would mean Dhoni slips down to 8. Can you imagine that? I don't think it's going to happen. Dhoni bats at 8, but it's quite remarkable how deep they can bat, how much power they've got in that lineup, and how many options they have if I guess Dhoni has a whim or Jadoo has a whim and just throws something unusual into the mix, and that's what they can do from time to time.
Yeah, moving on to the Lucknow Super Giants then, because post that defeat against the Gujarat Titans, what do you think they'll be ruing more in the camp? The fact that they didn't put up enough runs on the board, or they simply couldn't defend it?
I think absolutely the defending it. They were 4 for 47 setting and ended up getting 158. That's incredible. That's fantastic middle order batting to be able to absorb pressure from 4 for 32, get themselves into a reasonable position and explode towards the end. That is outstanding. I think the challenge for them is they couldn't defend 68 off the last 5 overs. That's just throwing games away, going at 14 and over at the death. And I understand that they had to bowl a spinner in the 16th and the 17th. And I think that's probably more about not having faith in the left arm quick. He came out and I just don't think they were brave enough with the ball at the death. I don't think you could say confidence, but really just sort of backed themselves to hit their area. They tried to bowl wide and full, but didn't make it really full enough. They tried to bowl Yorkers. The Yorkers weren't quite full enough. They were just sort of almost right, but that makes a massive difference in T20 cricket. So it's definitely the death bowling that they struggled with.
Yeah, it's still early days, but people are straight away questioning KL Rahul's decisions, holding to Mira's last over back, and then of course giving that over to Huda, which kind of brought the game back into some parity. Let's talk about another conundrum then, because Dwayne Bravo for CSK's proven death bowler, they have him in their summary, but no attacking spinner, while LSG on the other hand have someone like Bishnoi, an attacking spinner, but they don't have someone like Dwayne Bravo. I mean, how do you kind of see this, and which of the two roles you feel is more important, Dirk?
I think, as we've just been discussing, that somebody who is dependable, who you can throw the ball to with experience, knows how to deliver under pressure, that is the more important player, I think, to be able to get yourself out of a massive hole late in the game, give 2 or 3 dependable overs we know that Bravo's so effective. 9.3 at the death is quite remarkable, really, particularly given how many wickets he takes at the death as well. So, for me, I think a lot of the teams have good spinners not all the teams have good death bowlers, and so that's why I think Dwayne Bravo is probably more important.
Okay, let's talk about Bishnoi a little bit more then, because he will be feeling the heat after that particular last clash. None for 34 in his 4 overs. In particular, Rahul Tewatia took a liking to him. Do you think the CSK lefties will kind of take a cue from Tewatia's knock the other night and employ the reverse sweeps and whatnot against young Bishnoi?
Maybe they will, but at the same token, I think Bishnoi will go away and learn from what happened to them. And the nature of this sort of tournament play is games evolve over the course of the tournament. Tactics evolve over the tournament. Bishnoi would have seen what happened. They would have gone away and talked about it. They would have come up with a plan of how to counteract when batsmen are trying to do that. And it's one game. One game is just a blip. You would hate for it to happen again and again and become sort of more of a trend. And that becomes something that Bishnoi has trouble with. But I think we're jumping the gun if we think that Bishnoi is under the pump. He only went for 30 odd runs. It's not the end of the world, but I think if it becomes a trend that people do that to him and he has nothing to counter, I think then it becomes a big problem.
Okay, let's see if you can get your predictions right, because you've still not got one right, and sorry to rub that into you, but LSG or CSK, Dirk, who are you fancying on the night?
Can I fancy the toss?
You can.
I think whoever wins the toss is going to elect to field first. And I think going on trend and the way it seems to be quite easy to chase, I think they're going to be the winner. That being said, pound for pound, I think CSK are a better team. So I'm going to have to say CSK, but I'll put a little asterisk there, and I say it all depends on the toss.
Yeah, there's some fascinating subplots, of course, as ever in every IPL encounter, and LSG will be, of course, willing to come back. KL Rahul will be willing to come back into form. So let's see how it all transpires. You can catch it all on cricket.com. That's all we have with this match preview. We're done and dusted. It's a goodbye from Dirk Nannes, of course, and me, Avnish Hegde.